Hey guys, Scott from Reelistic Outdoors. I'm just gonna put together now the minestrone soup. I'm gonna show you the stages of the product, how I cut it, what I set the dehydrator at, the different items I use, and how we organize it and package it at the end. So stay tuned and follow through, and hopefully you'll like this and you'll learn something, and give this video a like. Thanks. The full list of ingredients will be available at the end of this in the comments. But basically, we're going to some fried onions, some beans, some seasoned tomato pieces, some mushrooms, celery, carrots, green peppers, orange peppers, zucchini. And when you cut these all up, try and keep them as uniform as possible. I like to make everything about a 1/4 inch. When you're setting these up on your parchment, I like to leave as much airspace as possible, and I use the parchment paper for everything because I hate cleaning off those racks. So I may use the parchment paper for a little bit, and then I will halfway through, once they start to dry out nicer, then I could take them off parchment and put them on the rack directly. So then you can kind of speed up a little bit of the dry time, because that way the air can get through. So here's an example of the zucchini. Oh, here's my fancy black bean slow motion because it's so exciting. Beautiful. Black beans instead of, well, there's a few other choices of beans for minestrone, but I kind of like the black beans. They're a little more available also for me. So just make sure you rinse them off really good, because there is kind of an oil. And the key here is to remove as much oils as possible when you're dehydrating, because oils will be rancid, and that's the last thing you want, is something to go rancid and have a bad tummy on one of your trips. So, and incidentally, the black beans actually dehydrated super fast, and then they actually separated from their shell and became quite crumbly. So now I throw everything into the dehydrator at 135. And again, it doesn't matter the time. I usually set for around 10 to 12 hours and check on it periodically, because everything seems to dehydrate on their own time. There's no specific time, so I check on them quite frequently. So, and there we are. Nothing better than a full dehydrator. That's a sexy thing right there. And here's a few hours in. Things are starting to dry out pretty good. You can see, but when I touch them, they're soft and kind of rubbery. I always check to snap them to see if they can crack in half, and just see what the level's at. And now I did the tomatoes separately. I just kind of give them a quick rinse. Stewed tomatoes with some seasoning in it. That way you get a little extra seasoning in the soup. So here we are with the finished dehydrated carrots, mushrooms, zucchini. It's amazing how you turn so much food into such a small area. And then here's a quick test. So there's a snap test. Now everything snaps except for carrots. They tend to stay kind of a pulpy. One thing I noticed, that on a very large can of black beans, they turned out to be like 3.5 or 3.9 ounces, which was quite amazing. So I bag everything up and do it separately. Hey guys, Scott from Reelistic Outdoors. Today I am going to put together the minestrone soup. Although it's a variation of it, and you know, minestrone is just a base, you can pretty much go any direction you want, add whatever you want, as you'll see here. So let's get started. These are all dehydrated products that I show you in videos to come. They're all done on there, so you can check out how to do all these. So basically I have some black beans. I have some tomato chunks with spice in them, some plain mushrooms, some green and red peppers, some zucchinis, and some carrots. Now I've got some ground turkey. There's some just turkey pieces left over for Thanksgiving. I dehydrated them up, so I'm going to add those also for protein. The recipe will be below, but if you're following along, onion powder, some vegetable bouillon, you could use beef if you like, and some garlic powder, some Frank's Red Hot in the powder, like a little spice with some salt, some red pepper flakes, some crispy fried onions. They're just dehydrated already, save me the time, really cheap, some thyme, and some oregano. So now let's get this stuff put together. So I'm going to be splitting this into two, and then I'm going to vacuum seal them into these packs because I will be using them right away. If I'm going longer, I'll put them in something like this stroganoff that I made that will last quite a bit longer, 6 to 8 months if you're prepping. So let's see. Okay, let's get my bowl ready, turn this on. So I'm going to try and split these up best I can in halvers. So I'll start with the tomato pieces. It's about half. I'm at 1.4 ounces now. Half of these beans. Now, I'm not using an exact measurement, obviously. Basically half. Now you gotta be careful dealing with these beans. They are very, once they're dried out like this, they're very, you can crush them. So when you vacuum seal them, you have to be very gentle on the vacuum seal. Alright, half the carrots. Half the mushrooms. Now this will make a very large pot of soup. Half of the zucchinis. I can't believe how light these zucchinis are. They're just so light and fluffy. Let's put half in there. That's more. Looking good. So I'll just add these cubes straight into the vacuum seal. And then I've already split these peppers up. I'm not sure why I didn't split all of them up, but and there is the peppers. So right now we're sitting at 4.2 ounces. And I'm going to add a little bit of turkey protein. Get up to about 5. Well, I'll leave some space for some spices. So, garlic powder. Half teaspoon. Unless you're afraid of vampires, then you can certainly add some more. 1 teaspoon of the Frank's Red Hot, so that's the salt and some spice. A half teaspoon of the red peppers, a little extra yum. Some oregano, same size, a quarter teaspoon. Maybe a little heaping teaspoon. Some thyme. Everyone needs more thyme. Put it in there. Quarter teaspoon. My onions are shown up. Onions. And the woodpeckers. And just got a heaping teaspoon of the onion powder. Now, what have I forgotten? The onions. Okay, so we're at 5 even. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on the camera above, but we're at 5 ounces right now. A couple extra of these onions won't tip me too badly. So we're at 5.2. So now I'll just add that into my seal bag here. Carefully, possibly. Responsible because it's flexible. Put all those young spices in there. Oops. Good for that. I have to break it down. The other thing you have to be careful if you're using a vacuum seal bag is some of these are sharp. So then there's the 2 bouillon cubes. Now, when you hydrate or rehydrate this, you're going to want to add a little bit of olive oil of extra virgin olive oil. I take a little sleeve of them, which I will show you how to make in another video. You can take a little bottle also, which is what I might do on this long trip. Take a little bottle with you, and then you can squirt in a couple tablespoons to all your meals. Alright, let's seal up here. Okay, you'll see that there was a swap in vacuum sealers. That big one needs so much space. It's just a giant bag waster. And I'm not going to suck it down too tight anyway, so I'll just use this one. These will be used right away, like within the next week or so. So it's not, I don't have any oxygen packs in here. So there it is. So now I'll just label that up. That's the whole deal. That will feed 2 people, or a very hungry person. There's your minestrone soup, with some changes, alterations. Enjoy. If you want to see the correct way to rehydrate this minestrone soup, click on the link provided and it'll take you to the next video, watching the proper portions of water, etc. and timings. And if you like this video, give it a like. Thank you very much for watching.